have this, so I don't know if you need to reposition it.
Oh, yeah, you swing it.
Swing it?
I try to make it foolproof for people. Just like I came here for a small bore and people were hammered,
Okay.
so then that went a little sideways. So
Like it's pretty packed through here? No,
So you're familiar with Barber.
Yeah.
Small bore came their first time here at Barber, and it was their last time here at Barber.
That stinks.
It was a fun event, but they're very particular about their grass.
Okay. Didn't hold up over the weekend, I take it.
It did not. All right. Well, with that, guys, shout out to Small Bore. Sorry you didn't hack it. I thought it was a great event. You did a great job. But Barber's very particular about the grass here, and lots of burnouts. And they even had an event where they took a Power Wheels and raced it down the tallest hill they have here. So as you can imagine, you're not supposed to like succeed in that race. So I don't think for the caliber of event they try to have here, like Barber Vintage Fest, which is where we're still out the Isle of Triumph, hanging out with our friends, and currently at the Isle of Triumph where I'm set up this year. Third year here at Barber. I am my neighbor.
Yep.
We're out here. We're Vendor Village, and I'm hanging out with A&J Cycles, who I very quickly 30 seconds ago learned his name is not AJ.
A lot of people call me Adam, Andrew, Alex. They just make up names, but
Brian Ballard.
Brian is my name, and
Brian with
the
an
A
I?
and J are my two kids with an I. Yep.
Okay, cool. Like a normal person.
Yeah.
A and J. What is A and what is J?
So A is Angela, my 14-year-old daughter, and J is James, my 11-year-old
Daughter?
son,
So where are you coming from? Saying daughter.
New York.
New York.
Yeah, half hour outside of New York City.
So when you come to these events and say you're a vendor or whatever and you're hanging out, you get a chit chat and get to know your neighbor. We're just getting started, and so I thought, what better way to get to know you than just have a cold call conversation?
Sounds good to me.
Welcome to the couch.
Do I get to learn about you too, or not?
That's funny. You can ask any question you want. Usually nobody ever does.
Okay.
So feel free just to shoot from the hip. There's no wrong question, but I'll just do what I do, and then as you see fit, do what you want to do.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So for my audience that is wide and far-reaching, why don't you just give us a little introduction on who you are and a quick background to get us to know a little bit about AJ's.
Okay. So like I said, my name is Brian. I have a small moto shop outside of New York City. We specialize in Triumphs. So we worked with Triumph a little bit over the years, and they asked us to come down. Last year was our first time down to Barber as part of the Isle of Triumph, and it was an amazing experience for us. We have customers around the world, so it's kind of really cool to get to meet some of our customers in person and stuff here that we wouldn't see normally, and also make like new connections and stuff. But A&J Cycles is actually a part-time like passion for me that's kind of just started growing and growing and growing, especially during COVID. And I don't want to say we're a bike builder. We customize bikes.
Yeah.
And then we have like a whole parts business built around customizing bikes yourself. So a lot of the parts that we use on our own bikes that we build for customers and ourselves, we offer for sale for other people to kind of do that in their own garage. So It's kind of our niche that we've, kind of carved out for ourselves in the U.S. and around the world. And, we bring a lot of brands in from overseas, that not a lot of people carry in the United States. And that's kind of just that's what we do in a nutshell. So
Got it. So you kind of act as maybe not a middleman, but like a tastemaker, in that you find these different parts and fabrication that you're like, that's going to look good. And people go, oh, that does look good. I want that too.
yeah, and that's exactly what we do.
You're a pipeline.
We're a pipeline, and I like to think we have like a decent eye for stuff.
you
So
get
we
good
try
taste.
not to
Yeah.
sell crap on her. Like we don't bring any stuff in from Temu or China or anything. We gotta stick to more of like a premium level of parts and products that we offer. So
Well, and you said this is now your second year at Barber. Last year was your first. What was your impression of not the event overall, but just the space? And then did you get a chance to see the museum or?
So the only problem with being a vendor here, and you're probably aware of that, is you don't really get to do a lot at Barber. So last year, we set up quick on Thursday. We hit the museum. We walked around the swap meet, and that was all I got to do last year. Well, this year I actually bought myself a little DR100 pit bike
just to get around
this swap meet. So I've actually been able to take like 2 little trips so far just to get out of this area and go explore. I was just watching some vintage dirt bike racing, but I did come down to Barber like 14 years ago, and experience it just as as an attendee. And I personally feel this is the coolest motorcycle event in the country, at least, especially that I've been to.
What makes it a standout event for you?
Just the diversity, and I just think like I love all motorcycles, but
Yeah.
vintage motorcycles just hit differently. You know, like there's nothing like smelling like a 1970 two-stroke dirt bike ripping around a track.
It's
you
true.
know, doing
It's
stuff
true.
that people don't do with them anymore. You know, so it's that's the part that I like about it. It's just you have people from all walks of life here, all different brands. You know, and it's just a cool gathering. You know, like just taking a lap around. You know, the outer circle here.
They really
on
take
a
care
pit
of you,
bike
like,
is just a lot of fun. You know, like
you can
just
ride the
people
tram.
watching and,
Yeah.
And it's good to see this keeps getting built up this side because we're kind of hidden here in the Isle of Triumph. You know, like a lot of people don't know about us, but Triumph's doing a really good job the last couple of years, like really growing out and getting people to come in here. So it's been really cool.
From my understanding, previous to Triumph being here, I don't recall who was, but this used to be just a place to sit and watch. And if you go up the hill through the trees, it's kind of a premier place to watch.
Oh,
the
absolutely.
races. And then over the years too, and like COVID, when they came back in, it kind of became a hidden gym again.
Yeah.
And so it's like it's an island in between the track.
Yeah, when I had come that first time, it was actually the Ace Cafe.
Right.
Corner
That's right.
is what it was called, and you know, it was very similar vibe here. You know, not Triumph focused, but you know, very similar, just like same types of
Mellow
vendors and stuff like that. Just cool, very
Yeah.
different from the rest of the event.
Yeah. Well, and so you got another. We're here. We got a day and a half still. 2 days.
Yep.
Call it. Is there anything that you're like, I got to see that. I want to do that. You know, I want to make sure I check that box.
I'd like to get to see some flat track racing. I've
Yeah.
never been able to go watch some of the vintage flat track racing, and A&J Cycles ourselves, we used to have a vintage flat track racing
Oh, okay,
team.
cool.
So definitely want to go check that out. We actually brought our flat track hooligan bike to display here, but we used to
Hey.
run that. And
Are you gonna get down there?
Nah, I never rode. I guess I just don't have big enough balls to do that stuff. Like those guys are like maniacs.
Big balls, small brain.
Yeah, so it's just but flat track racing, like I got introduced to it like late in life. Like I went to it as a kid, like watching with my father when I was like 8 years old, and then there was like 40 years that I didn't really know anything
Yeah.
about it. And then when I got back into it, it was like just so awesome. And
What was the reintroduction through a friend or like?
well, we
AFT,
had
or-
kind of just built. I always just thought flat track bikes looked really cool.
Yeah.
Like they just have a really cool, unique style. You know, very minimalistic and like with the tails and everything. And so we kind of just built one out of a newer Triumph, like a 2006 Triumph. And my buddy from Fast for Fun, he's the guy that has Instagram page. And
Oh, we know each other.
oh, you do, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's a good dude, Sean. He came down with us last year. He couldn't come this year. He's he just got a new job with Fox again, so
Well,
he's
you
like
should do
traveling all the time.
We should FaceTime him at the end of this. And,
We could do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, he hooked me up with a local just like dirt bike kid that was did a little bit of flat track with just like a ton of raw talent. This kid Nick Christie, and we just kind of hooked up. We started practicing at the local track, and I just got hooked. The next thing you know, like I just built this really badass.
So that's you
hooligan
just
bike.
taking insight. Like if I do this, then you can do that, and then just
Yeah, and
really
it's
lean
a
into that.
very cool, very welcoming community that
Yeah.
everyone wants to help you. So a lot of racing's not like that. A lot
Oh,
of it
yeah,
is
you
like
go
tight
into
to
the
the
pits
vest.
at
Yeah,
a
like
flat
road
track
racing I
race.
think is like that. But flat track
Yeah.
racing in the amateur level and like the vintage level, everyone just wants to help you. So it was just
Mhm.
like we were just like a sponge. Like yeah, do this tire pressure. Like try this suspension setting, and had a really fun like 3-year run at it, and won a couple like AMA vintage championships in
There you
2
go.
different classes, and got to travel around the country. That was like kind of during COVID, so you weren't really able to do anything, but we were able to race outside, so it was a cool
Yeah.
cool experience. And then like the last season we really did it like pretty heavy where we were traveling. We went to like the second race of the year, and in our class they like took like 3 guys out in helicopters with like really bad injuries, and I was
Yeah.
kind of like, you know what, Nick, like you got like 3 young kids at home. I think I'm okay for now, you know what I mean? And we kind of just took a break, and maybe we'll revisit it again down the road.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of fun, but it's also, in my opinion, probably the most dangerous motorcycle sport out there too, just because it's we go to a local track up by us called like Square Deal Riders Club, and it's just like literally run by like riders and stuff like that. It's a not-for-profit, and it's like if you talk to any pros, like it's like one of the baddest tracks in the
Yeah.
country, and it's up like Binghamton, New York, and they run like 5 races a year, and like 4 of the races are like memorial races for like
Yeah.
young kids that pass.
Well,
So it's like it gives you that like morbid side of the sport. That's like
Just for my audience at home that like is hip to motorcycles, but maybe not flat track as much. So it's the idea of racing where they go, okay, how about instead of a front brake, we just don't.
yeah, either no brakes or rear brake only. Usually.
And then instead of like shoes, what if we wear metal shoes?
yeah, pretty much.
And then it's just
Yeah, let's see how fast we can.
See how fast we
just
can go sideways.
Yeah, sideways. You're basically
Yeah.
drifting around a dirt track, which is just the people that do it. Like they just have so much natural talent. It's wild.
I forgive me for forgetting his name. He's out of California. He races. It's right on the tip of my tongue. He's the sweetest dude.
Briar Bauman? No?
No, he's got freaking one arm.
Oh, well, yeah, Jason Griffith. Yeah, he used to run Coolidge class with us. The
God.
guy's like fascinating. His bike is set up where like his throttle is backwards.
He is so. He makes me feel like such a bitch.
Oh my God, yeah. That guy is like so inspiring.
Yeah.
Just to be around and even just have a general conversation.
Yeah.
About him
So I'm heading to Moto Beach next week.
Okay.
And so I just remembered how cool I thought he was. And I'm like, I would love to talk to him just because of how he handles life, which is wide open.
Wide open.
With one arm.
With one arm. With a reverse throttle. So.
Oh my God. All right. Well, to change course a little bit, you mentioned earlier that AJ's and all things considered, that's actually just kind of a part time. What's full time?
Actually do IT for UPS. So I started there out of college, and I could probably I know I can make A&J Cycles work full time, but I kind of have a defective family where we need health benefits.
What is that?
I just
got insurance this year.
My two kids have had like pretty major health issues, and I've had some health issues.
UPS has been good to you.
UPS has been very, very good to me, especially from a medical and like if I needed time off and stuff.
And that's been from college.
That's been from college.
So
yeah.
was Castaway a big movie for you?
Nah, I don't even.
Wasn't
FedEx.
that the
we
whole?
We don't talk about the orange and purple company. So.
Was that FedEx?
Yeah. So
I don't know.
That's the
all right.
competitor,
Well,
so.
I'm a big fan of UPS personally.
Yeah, it's a good company.
And so on the IT side, and you're just like, help me understand because I just understand like I'm coming on the software to get packages delivered to speed up the process.
Yeah, it's like all things
because it's like Santa's factory when things are going in. It's like the airport, right? Up, down, all around, and you're able to utilize the technology to.
Yeah, and it's changed so much. I've been there 24 years now, and from when I started there to what it is now, it's the role of IT and the importance that the company has really, really ingrained itself in the day-to-day operations. And it's as much as tracking. I think we get 50 million tracking requests a day, and then
it's wild.
And then all of our systems, all the driver systems that they use to know where to deliver packages and route them around, their route and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's been a very rewarding career, very fun career, and I've been lucky enough where my last few positions, I've kind of got to build teams from scratch with like young guys and girls coming out of college, and just learn from them, and then kind of just be like a mentor to them as like an adult, and just give them like more like life lessons, like, hey guys, start putting money in your 401k and stuff like that, because I didn't do it when I was your age, but you should definitely do it now, like especially if you're living at home with like mom and dad and stuff like that. So yeah, it's just been a cool experience, and right now times are a little rocky for UPS, so I don't know if I'm going to have a job there much longer. I hope to, but if I don't, A&J Cycles will go full time and we'll let it rip. So.
Well, and with what you did and do, are you creating proprietary tech? Are you servicing? Are you just keeping it running? Are you like, oh, do you remember when your package started showing up day earlier? That was me. So
right now it's more of I like basically handle all the hardware portion of the data center. Okay. So UPS runs some stuff on public cloud, but and I don't know if you know what cloud is. You probably do, but you've heard of AWS and Google and stuff like that. Yeah. But we have a very large footprint of our own service, and we call it a private cloud. So I'm basically keeping that thing rolling.
Who has access to the private cloud?
Not a lot of people. So yeah, I mean, if you do a tracking request from inside, it comes out, but it's only R for like all of our UPS apps, and I don't know how many thousands of servers we're responsible for and stuff, but we're always replacing stuff on the servers, building new servers and stuff like that. So it hasn't been my most exciting role at UPS by any means, because I've been involved in some very leading edge projects there. But
do you have like a in your garage just like a homage to time? As like I'm sure you've seen technology change so dramatically.
Yeah, not so much, because I don't know, probably wrongfully. It's just a job to me, so I don't like live and breathe it. Like when I log off, which isn't too often, because I kind of as a manager there, I kind of always on call and stuff. Yeah. But I've always just kind of left that stuff at work, and I'm not like
fantastic.
I'm not like a techie nerd at home or anything.
Well, I asked the question.
The motorcycles is my outlet. And
no. I asked the question about the daytime job, thinking that I would see something that might like actually, and then you like, but it sounds truly like no, it's a job. Yeah. And the passion lives on the outside of this trailer just around the corner there.
Yeah, and that's kind of what my wife has always said to me, that
that's cool.
That if this does become your full-time gig, like, are you going to enjoy it as much? Yeah. And it's a very real thing that I'm not sure. I think I'll still enjoy it a lot, but I'll have to deal with customers more often and stuff like that. So I'm not sure, but I'm all for seeing what it's about. So.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm on like the kind of flip side of that is where I went into a more corporate role as a stuntman because of the stability, the insurance, the pension, while still in pursuit of my dream as a performer. in the production space that I run and how it operates. But it's I don't have the children yet, but at the same time, the insurance is something I use frequently.
Yeah,
I just
especially
got some new
imagine
hardware.
little mishaps here and there. Yeah, I saw a nice little scar there.
Yeah, I got this like 2 weeks ago, and the doctor's like, I went for the follow up like 2 days ago, and he says, well, when did you stop wearing the sling? And I was like, I woke up out of the hospital.
What sling?
Literally. And then sure enough, I was like working out like 2 days ago again, just after the appointment. And my mom posted a silly story. My mom's like, Sam, we're doing good, all right? The insurance did a good job.
Yeah.
We're back at it. But motorcycles are in fact dangerous.
They definitely are. And I know all about it, not to go morbid, but I lost a brother in a motorcycle accident, when I was pretty young. And, that's, I sold my bike right away and didn't do anything with motorcycles for 6 years. But if
Just
it's in
an
your blood,
accident,
if
or
it's
how did it play out?
yeah, I mean, he was wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah.
And, could have been prevented. A drunk driver hit him. But, but if motorcycles in your blood, and I've been around motorcycles since I was 3 years old. It was actually really cool in Barber. They had like one of the, I think it's like a Z50 or something like that. It was like my first dirt bike that was like a hand-me-down, little tiny 50. And I just remember like, I sent it to my son, and I'm like, this was my first dirt bike. He's like, it looks smaller than a Grom. And I'm like, yeah, this is the one that I clotheslined myself on the swing side in the backyard on, like not knowing what I was doing. But and I just, a lot of people be like, oh, well, why do you ride and stuff like that? But it's just, when it's in your blood and you've just been around it your whole life, it's hard to get away from.
Well, and then to have stepped away for some, I think you said 40 odd years or something like that, to then come back into motorcycles and still have that same, itch.
Yeah. And for a while there, it was like more cars. I got into like racing cars and souping up cars, and then just kind of pivoted back to bikes. It's just how it went, So.
Well, and kudos to the wife for letting you play.
Yeah, and
I guess you're not out racing.
And I'm probably like the biggest poser motorcycle shop owner out there, because like since I have the kids.
What is that? What is a poser motorcycle shop owner?
Well, it's like I have kids now, younger kids, and
lots of people have
I'm
kids.
responsible for them. You know what I mean? Like they depend on me on a daily basis. My wife, you know what I mean? My wife would probably she would be fine if something happened to me, but but still, it's like two living beings that you're responsible for. It kind of changes your whole dynamic, and then it's like a time thing. I have a full-time job, 40 hours, 45 hours a week. I do this on the side. I open my workshop at night and on weekends, and I just don't have time to ride. Like I did DGR ride this year in the city, which was awesome to get out and mingle with my customers and stuff. But it's like I don't have the free time to go out for a ride on the weekend for 4 hours, 5 hours with friends. So that's why I say I'm a poser.
Where you're at in New York to like Manhattan, how far is that?
To Manhattan is like probably like 40 minutes. But everyone from the city.
You know Boucher?
Do not. No.
I'm gonna introduce you.
Okay. Yeah, but everyone from the city comes up to ride where my shop is. So we live right outside of it's called Bear Mountain, Harriman State Park, Seven Lakes Drive. So literally that's where everyone comes to ride. So like our shop location is perfect, and we actually have a lot of customers that are from the city and Long Island and stuff like that. So,
but now you're out just laying down miles, enjoying yourself, being a poser shop owner.
Being a poser shop owner,
a successful
at least,
poser shop
at least I'm not too proud to admit it. You know what I mean? So
I still I got distracted by thinking about my buddy Mark. I want to introduce you to, but then the idea of a poser shop owner that is doing good work, that is riding themselves, that participates in the racing scene, and then is actively here at Barber Vintage Fest.
Yeah, I guess that's so much.
I think
poser.
you're pretty authentic. I think you're
just maybe the riding piece. I definitely would like to ride more, but
we all like to ride more. We're out here hanging out in a trailer, sweating to some new friends, having a great time.
So, what was your first motorcycle that you ever owned?
First motorcycle
or rode? It's like that. Because I think your first time experience on a bike, you probably didn't own it. You know what I mean? Maybe it was like a relative's bike or something like that.
So, two stories. The first dirt bike that I rode, I would have been maybe 12. I think I was in Haiti, in Port-au-Prince. My dad had invited me. He said, "Hey Sam, you want to go on a mission trip to Haiti and help out some friends?" And I said, "Heck yeah, Dad! I love that idea." And it was he's a big advocate for Builders Without Borders, which is similar to Doctors Without Borders. His form of offering and service is to utilize his skills. He's a fantastic, and he's here today.
Awesome.
Yeah. And so he was going down there, and they build, whether it's an orphanage or a school or some type of something, right? And so I went to help. And while we were there, where we were staying at a friend's place, they had a clapped out something or other Suzuki that didn't work. And the roads down there, as you can imagine, are non-existent.
Yeah.
And I being just a young kid that thought this was the coolest thing, like these folks were from our church. And so they had a lot of, it just felt familial that we were in their home, but at the same time felt that we were comfortable to, dick around. And so this bike became my fixation. And to my credit, to my father's credit, he saw me really, get jonesed by this bike, and he managed to get it working again.
Nice.
And so I just tooled around the property, which was probably just a few acres on this little bike that then stopped working as we left, and is probably still sitting.
Yeah.
That was the first time that I had ridden, and then my first bike was a buddy had said, "Sam, I got you a deal on this Harley 48."
Okay.
When those came out, and he said, "You got to come get it here in Daytona." Shelley Rossmeyer, Harley Davidson, we love you. And so I was like, "I'll do that, but you got to ride with me back to LA where I was living at the time." And so we did. And so I
you literally got on a street bike for like the first time and rode cross country.
I didn't even have a license. I tried to get a license, but my something was broken on me. And so the MSF course said, "No, you cannot take this course. Something's clearly wrong with you." And I was like, I already booked all the ticket. Everything was already in motion. And so I just didn't have a license, and we did Route 66 on Sportsters.
Very cool.
Yeah, I had no idea how bad of an idea for a bike to do Route 66
Yeah,
on.
that's
There's a lot of stretches.
That's not like being on a Honda Goldwing going across country either. That's a pretty rough bike to take for
there's
your
a lot of
first
dirt.
cross country.
If you try to be consistent, like you're going off road, and then equally there's stretches where there are no gas stations.
Yeah, and you have like a 2.3 gallon tank on that thing or something like
yeah,
that.
we were, I think, hitting like 95 miles, and we're like, whoa, we're really extending this one.
Yeah.
That was so. Those are those two stories.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And it was cool to get to learn about all the positive.
Well, welcome to AJ's show. This is his show now. I'm the guest today.
I'll stop asking questions. So
no, that's it, man. Well, and it's fun. Even just from the last guest, it's often that I'm so curious about the other individual that I'm just constantly peppering them with questions, and so they don't have time to think about asking me a question. So thank you for asking me.
there you go.
I'm glad to have shared, and I'll send you the trailer for the movie I made of that great ride. It's called The Crossing.
Okay.
Later changed to American Spirit. Later changed to da-da-da. The story behind that story, for those not in the know, there's companies, and so I did a Kickstarter for this. I was like, I'm going to shoot an independent film documentary, and I put this idea together, and I put out the whole gist of what my story would be on, I do believe it was Indiegogo or one of those, What I didn't know is that there's companies out there that troll that site and sites like it, and then when they see a good idea and they see it hit, like, oh, people are into it, it's an already existing production company. All the wheels are already greased. Everybody has their role, and they just execute, and then they race you to completion. I had no idea that somebody had done that, and so by the time I got to LA, the end of Route 66, they had beaten me, and they had already sold it to Amazon. Shoot.
So there's dirt bags everywhere.
There's dirt bags everywhere.
Nice.
They down to my tank top. They stole my outfit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's got to be humbling that someone thought it was a good enough idea to actually, film it. But
yeah, I wish I could, cash good ideas at the bank.
Yeah.
But that's Hollywood, baby.
All right.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate your time, and I'm glad to be your neighbor, and we're going to be hanging out for the next couple of days. And so there's bourbon in the cooler. Help yourself.
Okay.
But this is the time of the show that you can bring attention to whatever you want. Shout out, whether it's Angela, whether it's UPS or whoever. That's your camera. You can just.
Yeah, I'd just like to give a shout out to my my amazing family. They've always been supportive. My wife, who, has kind of put a lot of her career aspirations on the side burner to kind of help support this, kind of growth of A&J Cycles, and my two kids, and then my immediate family have always been supportive.
Yeah.
And I have like two really good buddies that help me work on bikes at the shop. I have a customer who's now become like a mechanic, my buddy Antonio, who's does design work for me and has kind of definitely made A&J Cycles look more professional. So very grateful for him. And then my two mechanic buddies, Danny and Ryan, that are just been good friends of mine. And
that's a family.
Yeah, it's just a fun, wholesome operation that I call ourselves like the little company that that could, what I mean? Like when you're on with the internet and things how they are today, everyone thinks you're this big company, and when they come to my shop and they see it's like a 1,200 square foot, 3 lifts in it, and I run a parts operation out of the upstairs and stuff like that, and it's just people think we're a lot bigger than they are, but we're just a little tiny shop that are
Little tiny shop,
doing
big
things,
heart.
big heart,
Big
and
heart.
and also just very grateful for Triumph for even like acknowledging us and representing it, and letting us come down here and be a part of like
Absolutely,
cool experience.
yeah.
So you probably feel the same way about Triumph.
It's so cool to be able to come, and I feel people don't realize outside of the motorcycle space how small this motorcycle world is. But when we get to come and play at events like this is a premier event.
Yeah.
Like you said, you think it's the coolest event, around. And so to be able to come and feel supported by the OEMs that we like to play in, like invited to do what we do, and then, just feel not just a bystander, but a part of it is really cool. And it makes me feel like I'm relevant in some conversation I didn't know I was having. And now we're having it.
Yeah. Yeah, and like Eric and Adam are just two awesome people, and
there he is right there. I see you.
Yeah, and like I said, like we've talked here and there. Like I think the first time I ever met Adam was he just hit us up and he's like, "Hey,
has he had you on his podcast?"
He has not yet. So maybe one day we can make that happen.
Oh.
But they actually they do a lot of stuff with movies. They're very active in movies. Well, I'm sure it's probably maybe how you met them, or just you're not aware of it at least. And they said, "Hey, the show Billions, I think it's Billions on or Billionaires or something like that on HBO or Showtime, whatever it is. They need a bike placed on set to give to the main character for like a birthday present." Yeah. He's like, "Do you have anything?" And so I was like, "Here's 4 bikes I could bring down to you tomorrow if you need them." And
Where was the shooting location?
I was in the city somewhere.
Yeah.
So I think the whole show was shot down there. And that particular instance didn't work out. He called me back on Monday. He's like, "Hey, the production company just went and rented a bike for the weekend or something." Yeah. He's like, "Sorry," but that kind of started our this dialogue between each other, and they've always kind of just thought of us and stuff, and just very appreciative of the fact that Triumph's a small fish in a big sea from a motorcycle brand too, but just the fact that they align themselves with other smaller people and support us and stuff like that is very cool.
We're not that small, Brian.
Yeah, it's true. Well, I'm sure you have a ton of followers, so but yeah.
Joke's on you. He says I have a ton of followers. No, I just got I got a ton of friends like Eric and Adam.
Okay.
That's why I keep finding myself in positions like this. Yeah. Well, all that to say, we're going to get out there. We're going to play. We're going to talk to a lot more fun people this weekend. And at some point, I don't know if you've met Billy from Billy's Bacon, but I'm going to go eat raw bacon.
Awesome. Oh, you're going to eat raw? Okay.
Because apparently it's all cooked. Even and I was like, "You're talking about Kirkland. When I buy it from the store," he goes, "It's cooked. You can eat it." And I'm like, "Don't tell my mom."
I have some friends that would eat raw bacon. I'm not eating it. It's got to be crispy and it's got to.
Is it Antonio? Is it Antonio?
No, Ryan. My buddy Ryan.
All right, Ryan, we get along.
Yeah. You literally will just take like a bite out of a raw steak, and I'm like, "No thanks, no thanks."
That's me. Yeah. I hate to bring this into every interview I'm doing today, but this is day 82 of me on the carnivore diet.
Okay.
I have only eaten meat for 82 days.
Cooked or raw?
Huh?
Cooked or raw?
Well, sometimes it's pretty raw, like even chicken, just because I'm just like wolfing stuff down.
Okay.
And if I'm making it for like my lady, "Hey, I made some chicken breast, I made whatever," and I'm just like, "You guys saying this isn't done yet?" And I'm like, "It's close."
Yeah.
82 days, you just kind of get over it. But
yeah.
You go. All right. Anyway, get back to work. And then thanks for being on. And I look forward to maybe I'll see you in New York at some point. Check out your small shop.
Definitely, man.
All right. Cheers, brother.
Man. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
We made a mess on your table here.
No, that's what's
just water. I promise. I'll
what do you
over and try it off.
Yeah. What do you think?
It's cool, man.